Keep listening to Radio Vishnu 90.4 to a Knowledge Society. Thank you.
Hello, listeners. Good morning. You're listening to Radio Vishnu 90.4. Sri Vishnu Educational Society and Radio Vishnu 90.4 proudly attempting Guinness World Record exclusively with 100 student RJs for the duration of 72 hours, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. I am student RJ Burlagadda VNS Asrita and I feel very fortunate for being a part of this Guinness World Record attempt. Our application number is 220161257113LRPB and our title is Longest Radio Play Broadcast Continuously and my allotted participant number is 94. Out of all memories that we create, school memories are those which always have special place in our heart, right? Yes. Today I am going to talk on school memories. School days. School memories cannot be taken from us. I miss my school days so much that I often think of making a time machine to go back to those days again. Of course, it's something like pigs flying in the sky. Literally, my school days are like a treasure for me. Those are the once best days which are mixed with so much emotions, gossips, and unforgettable memories which when we think now will make us feel nostalgic and make us laugh about our good olden days. Really, school life is the best time of our life. Here we make lifelong friends, learn new things, and build our career. Those were the days where there was no work pressure and no tension of earning money. It was the only time which we enjoyed the most. And after completing school life, we had been knowing how much we used to enjoy at that time, right? However, I really enjoyed a lot in my schooling. I think it became possible only because of having lots of friends and for the love my teachers showed on me. I enjoy going to the school to meet my friends and learn new things. In fact, school life teaches us lots of new things and prepares us to face all the challenges in the life. Anyone who has been a student knows what school life is all about. According to me, it is the golden period of learning and it truly impacts one's student life. Like me, everyone keeps on saying that school life is the best time in the life. When listening to these phrases from the elders, the school students might think about what is good about this life. All we do in the entire day is to attend the classes and do the homework. Then what's so special about this? Students, I am challenging you that you too would feel in the same way if once your school life gets over. I cannot say particularly regarding what's good and what made your childhood so special, since memories to be cherished and the challenges to be faced will vary from person to person. In your turn, you would also definitely experience it. And apart from learning great things in school, we make new friends, we play different sports, and we create memories for the rest of our life. I believe that students can learn many life skills like teamwork, good manners, and many more. And they can also even understand what they want to become in their life during this phase itself. Now, coming to my school life, I clearly remember my first day at school. The memories of this day are still vivid to me. I can still feel how warmly I was welcomed at the school. Such a warm welcome can truly define one's school experience in the best possible way. I think most of us like me to had such a warm welcome, right? I think so. And when I remember way back during school days, I now wondered how I used to wake up early in the morning then Whereas now, I can barely get any motivation to wake up that early. Waking up, dressing up to go to school, and packing the bag according to the timetable, recalling all the previous day's homework that was forced upon us, and eating breakfast, catching the bus. Oh my god, these are all the routine things for us then. But now, wishing for that routine to come back. I used to think to myself every day like this. Oh God, when will I grow up and there'll be no burden of studies all the freaking time? But now, I would just do anything to go back to my school days and then sit in my classroom, play tic-tac-toe and flames with my friends and also exchange juicy gossip on who has a crush on whom. I'm sure there are a zillion other memories that we have about childhood school days. How about rejuvenating them right now? Are you all excited? I am. And coming to one of the naughtiest things I used to do the most of the times during my childhood is playing many tricks to get absent to the school. One such trick is by acting like a sick person and unable to even get up and sit. In fact, on some days when I was really sick and not in a position to go to school, my parents thought that I was lying again and they used to send me to the school anyway. That's the saddest thing. I hope many of you to face this situation, right? Of course, yes. And I still remember the long morning prayers. And wait, how can I forget the assemblies we had every day? While we were singing the national anthem, pledge, school prayers, and the national song, I literally used to get goosebumps. Really, it's an amazing feeling. And in these assemblies, prizes were also awarded for the students who won in the competitions like elocutions, essay writings, and quiz competitions, which used to be conducted in our school and as well as in other schools. And some students like me were very interested in giving seminars. Huh. And some of my friends, especially girls, used to dizzy more and fell down in the middle of the prayers. I cannot forget this situation as our class boys used to tease these girls after these prayers. And I clearly remember even more longer song that we used to sing. Good morning, miss. To wish teachers as soon as they come to class, and when they told us to sit, again a long song that we used to sing is Thank you, miss. Really, this is one of the funniest moments when I recollect my school memories. And I still remember the punishments given to us for being late to the class and for wearing improper uniform, for growing nails, and for girls, if they didn't braid two plaits, they are just over. And boys, they used to get punished more for their improper tucking, and most of them were reckless to put ID cards. And our faculty were very much strict in this aspect. And also, there always used to be this one person who would forget to wear whites on Wednesdays, and they would get punished for not following the rules. I used to love my whites, for they made all of us look different, and we anyway used to get bored of wearing the same uniform the entire week. And yes, the morning prayers would have much pass included in them on Wednesdays. That was one thing we all dreaded. And on the Saturdays, our school students have a tradition of wearing different colored uniforms based on their group. Mostly, I think the colors would be green, blue, red, and yellow. We also used to have some quiz competitions on Saturdays. You know why? Huh. As we wear the different colored uniforms representing the teams, they used to conduct those quizzes. But one good thing on that day was the winner team would get badges and they need to give it back in the next week to the winning team who won on that day. I belong to yellow team and my team and red team used to have a lot of competition on every Saturday to get those badges. Really, it's a good day to me for that whole week. And my birthday celebrations. Wearing casuals on the birthday, the entire class singing Happy Birthday to you, and distributing chocolates, and then taking my best friend along with me to give chocolates to the teachers in the entire school was undoubtedly the memory I want to relive. And if it was my friend's birthday, he took me along with him to distribute chocolates among all the students. And even I used to receive some more extra chocolates. That was the craziest part. When I was in my 10th standard, I celebrated my birthday very memorably and could never forget my 15th birthday in my life, as it was my last birthday with all my school besties and my favorite teachers. Yeah, teachers. Teachers are the ones who taught me many things. They not only made me excel in my studies but in many more areas. They taught me how to behave in the society, how to overcome the obstacles in life, and guided in many more aspects. And also, during my early childhood, I might never forget some of my teachers' pick up phrases like, "Do you forget to eat? Then how could you forget your homework?" And when we made a lot of noise in classrooms, their phrases were like this: "In all my years of teaching, this is the worst class I have ever seen." And they even use this phrase for a greater number of times. That is this a fish market? Can't you keep quiet? Oh my god, I can never forget the way getting scolded by teachers and then laughing over it with friends. In fact, when I was very young, I used to recreate these situations at my home, imagining as if I were a teacher and teaching students and scolding them with these phrases. Really, those days are very cheerful. And besides education, my teachers built my character and behavior in such a way that everyone inspires. Our teachers love us and they taught us in a very simple and easy way. Whenever we fail to understand anything, they try to make us understand it again and again without shouting at us. They gave equal attention to all the students, and that is why my school has an excellent academic record. And even all my classmates along with me are very interested when our teacher starts sharing her personal life stories. But we don't get that interest when she gives the lectures. It's the funniest thing. My teachers are the ones after my parents who taught me many moral values. I especially like my Telugu teacher who taught me how to build a good career, and my physics sir who gave me so much support in choosing my future paths. I'm very grateful to them forever. And I still remember preparing greeting cards to all my teachers every year on the eve of Teachers' Day. We all students used to act like great actors on the Teachers' Day. We used to behave like we are the only students in the entire world who obey their words. Of course, only on that day we used to be like that, but from the next day, again reality comes into the picture. The other thing I would never forget is the celebration of D-Days. Waiting the whole long year eagerly for the one grand celebration, annual day, to participate in the cultural programs like dance, skits, and hosting the events. And beginning the practice to the cultural programs in the month prior is the time where we used to get out of the class in school timings officially. And for the patriotic events like Independence Day, Republic Day, marching around the ground, dancing and singing patriotic songs, getting sweets and chocolates on those days, huh? When I think all of this, I remember I think that those were basically used to be no bad days. And coming to the outfits on those days, we used to attend the events in whites, as white represents peace. Huh. School time would be incomplete without these big celebrations. I still remember how much I started thinking about wearing a sari for the first time ever in school. Before even passing the 10th grade, we all got so excited about the farewell we would be throwing the following year. Republic Day and Independence Day, along with Annual Day, were three most important days in school which were crazily fun. And coming to the most annoying situation, that is parent teacher meetings, where I used to pray to God a lot like, oh God, please make my teachers' mood good and make them not to reveal anything about my naughtiest actions in the school to them. Please. God listened my prayers during my entire schooling, for which I was never caught to my parents. But in one meeting, I think it's my fourth standard, one of my teachers, my social teacher, said my mom like this: Ma'am, your daughter is doing well in academics, but she's so talkative in the class. This was the only time I was scolded by my teacher and caught to my mother. And there was one thing in my class which used to be very coordinated. When our class monitor used to tell us that principal ma'am is about to come, then our whole class used to maintain pin drop silence at that time. It seems like no one is in the class. And as soon as principal ma'am used to go back to her office, then we all used to shout and make a lot of noise. And the most funniest thing is the class monitor writing our names on blackboard when we talk in the class during the leisure hours, and writing 2x, 10x and even infinity x was the most funniest thing I can never forget. And also, if the one who was making noise, or who was talking, or who was roaming in the class for unnecessary reasons was the monitor's friend, then the monitor not used to write his name, and even though if he writes his name, he used to rub it for the next minute by checking that anyone was not watching him. But for some times the monitor was also caught. And when my friend was selected as monitor, I would be the happiest person than him, because he too would not write my name at any cost, since he knows very well what would I do if he writes my name on the board. I hope many of you also felt in the same way, right? Yes. Yeah, now only one more memory struck me. It is chalk pieces. When chalk pieces were completed, generally teachers used to ask the monitor to bring them, no? And they would bring. But definitely they would be completed within a day. You know why? We used to waste them a lot for having some fun. Of course, we were scolded for this many times, but we didn't stop it till our last day. And coming to colored chalk pieces, we eagerly wait for these chalks. We used to decorate our blackboard on some special occasions like Children's Day, Teacher's Day, New Year, Independence Day, and on many more days with these chalks. In fact, we came to know some of our friends were really great artists, and they also helped me to improve my creativity. And I was also very interested to engage in class activities. I always wanted to become the duster in charge, because that person is always in demand. Every teacher calls him so as to rub the board. One day in our class, the teacher organized the elections for the same, and I won in that, because I was the tallest among all my classmates. Even I was taller than all boys in my class. When I was selected as duster in charge, oh man, you know what? I was feeling on top of the world. I felt that I am very famous in my class, because every subject teacher remembered my name, and they used to call me by saying that, "Come forward, Ashrita," and rub the board. Oh my, that feeling. I know it sounds weird to you, but I used to enjoy it. And one more situation where I was singled out by the teacher was when I had the best grade in the class on a test. This is one of the unforgettable moments I will be proud of forever. School time is literally the time where we are only tensed over doing homework. I feel the biggest challenge then was writing the homework sitting at the last bench when teachers started checking from the first bench. The joy of placing homework book at the bottom of pile of books, thinking that it takes long time to correct our book, and used to turn heartbreaking when teacher flipped the pile of books to correct it from the end. I can assure that many of us who are like me have forgotten to complete the homework. And you know what? When I was used to forget my homework, I gave elaborate excuses to my teacher as to why I was not able to complete it. The common excuse that I used to give was I was not able to understand all the questions, ma'am. Whereas the main reason was not that. But I'm sure most of us, irrespective of the homework factor, prayed for a teacher who would be too cocky to handle to get absent and we get a substitute teacher. When we used to enter the classroom and saw an unfamiliar face sitting at the teacher's desk, we all knew that it's gonna be an amazing day. I still remember that our whole class used to try to convince our substitute teacher by telling him how our regular teacher always let all of us play the blackboard games during the class. Yeah, free period was the best thing ever. You know what? I used to enjoy these substitute teacher days a lot and always used to pray to God that, Lord, please, tomorrow also our regular teacher should be absent. And one more thing, you know what? Our whole class used to peep out from the classroom doors again and again so as to check the pile of white sheets in teachers' hands. I always used to pray to God, especially when my paper didn't go well, that God, please fulfill my wish that today ma'am should forget the papers in her house so that we don't get it. Those are just little moments then, but now became core part of our memory. When I reached my high schooling, my school encouraged us in our academics by means of offering some fee concessions based on our performance. This was really a very good step that my school had put forward. I received many concessions every year during my high schooling, for which I made my parents proud of me. When I was in my early ninth standard, I participated in the audition of Meelu Evaru Kotishwarudu show, which was then hosted by Chiranjeevi Garu. But due to some reasons, unfortunately, I couldn't be able to participate in that show. But it is really an everlasting memory to me. And even science exhibitions, maths exhibitions used to be very interesting to take a part. We used to exhibit mostly the projects like volcanic eruptions, sedimentation, and acid-base reactions, which is mixing coke, Mentos, and food color, and as of felt like a great scientist after doing this experiment. And also constructing circuits with potatoes, lemons, and floating egg experiment, and many more. During these exhibitions, students from other schools and even our parents, family members used to visit our school and they encouraged and appreciated us a lot. And besides education, I also used to participate in cultural activities, especially in dance. I performed in many of the dance shows which were conducted in my school. I was always selected for classical dance during my entire schooling, but I was even more interested in Western forms. Really, these situations mean a lot to me forever. And one more favorite part is Sports Week. This is my most favorite period in the whole academic year. I think you know the reason for why I like this. Yes, we don't have any classes except games for the entire week. And I like to play every game. It is not about indoor or outdoor. I like participating in every competition and I am very interested in team games like throw ball, volleyball and cricket. Yeah, cricket. Yes, of course girls are also fond of cricket including me. And coming to the last day of the sports week, we had prize distribution ceremony where the winner, the first runner-up and second runner-up were awarded with gold, silver and bronze medals by the special guest of our event. Well, I think all of us were once addicted to one thing, That was whitener, the correction pen. Even though in the situations we had no use of it, we used to use it. And I also used to enjoy covering my notebooks with brown paper at the start of each school year. I still remember how I used to ask my brother to hold the tape and give me tape strips one by one. Literally, I used to enjoy it. And also, I think most of the students felt excited of using pen for the first time in their 5th standard, right? Even me too fall under the same category. And I still remember that day when I started dreaming about the things that I will do after school ends while the school was going on. And boom, can you guess what happened? The teacher called my name and asked me to answer the question. And now I didn't even know the answer. I was so worried about it. Suddenly, my friend who was sitting beside me whispered and told me the answer. And I told the same answer to my teacher. And you know what? It was the right answer. Oh man, I breathed a sigh of relief. I'm damn sure it has happened with all of us, right? Yeah. But in some situations, even if we were listening to teachers' lectures, they used to make us stand and ask questions thinking that we were not paying attention towards them. But we would answer the questions correctly. And also, I'm sure that every student like me used to count students in each row to see which paragraph they have to read, right? Yes. And also, the stalls near my school would be flooded by students like honeybees competing for honey after school ended. In my childhood, I and my brother every day used to buy chocolates in nearby stall to my school and used to keep a hole to my father's pocket. And yeah, I need to share one more memory with you guys. When my parents came to my school for paying the fee or came to take me when there was some event like puja at my home by taking the permission from our teachers, it's really the happiest feeling I would experience for every time because my friends would be sitting in the class and I would be going to the home. So I feel very happy by seeing their faces. And also, I cannot forget the mad rush when somebody yelled fight in the schoolyard. Everyone was curious and anxious about the fight and the reason what they were fighting for. Most of the fights usually happened regarding competitions in sports and in choosing class monitors and also between the class toppers. And I still remember this famous rumor in our school that my school was built on a graveyard. I think this is also a common rumor in many of these schools. I used to believe it blindly and felt very enthusiastic in spreading this rumor. In fact, these spreading of rumors mostly happened in break times. Not only rumors, but also the short snacks break in between are meant for playing hand cricket, rock paper scissors, throwing rockets, and many more. Literally, class turned to be a playground. Sometimes, when I think of the lunch breaks in those times, it was used to be the best part of the day. No, not because of the food, but it was a break from all those boring lectures and a chance to hang out with our besties. It was really funny to think about a serious discussion of where to sit every day during the lunchtime. Lunchtime was about the experience and not never about the food. Truly, I used to enjoy it. During primary schooling, some of the teachers used to check our lunch boxes. That's the time where we used to complain more about the food and act like we were having the sensation to vomit and many more false reasons to leave the food. But now I realize that leaving food is not at all a good habit. And at present, during the lunchtime, the aroma of mother's homemade food strikes me. The way we shared our food and all the eatables in between classes is probably the most difficult and craziest task that gave us enjoyment to the fullest. I also remember the way we used to complete lunch boxes even before the lunch hour. Eating lunch before recess is something each one of us have done sometime or the other. If not ours, we would steal someone else's lunchbox and gobble all of it down and pretend as if we were listening to the teacher very carefully by nodding and making serious facial expressions. And that time, if the teacher finds us and asks a question, that would be the most terrible situation, right? Yes, many of my friends, especially boys, used to steal the food of girls and ate all of it. But unfortunately, they were caught for many of the times. And in my school, lunch breaks are not only meant for eating, but for some students, especially for the pairs, it is the only time to meet and talk. Many people have their first love from the school, while some people still regret for their unconfessed feelings. I still laugh at the innocence of us at that time, gazing that one favorite person in class, doing many adventures to speak with crush, behaving like a main lead in the movie in front of them just to impress them. Oh my god, when I think of these moments, these are the most cringiest one, yet memorable. And Raksha Bandhan used to be the epic. Remember boys, how they all used to nag that they don't want to sit with girls. Remember when guys literally hide and ran away from us girls during Raksha Bandhan? And the opposite happened on Valentine's Day. And we waited for our crush to come up to us and offer us a red rose. And most of us, our classmates, were fond of playing love percentage calculator and some games, especially flames. And also, I can never forget the school trips. It really didn't matter where we are going. The best part about the school trip was the bus ride. Me and my friends used to sing many songs so loudly on the bus during the school trips. Literally, I wish that I could get some superpower by using which I can go back to the school days and enjoy it again. And most of the PE periods, no, sorry, wait, almost all the PE periods were taken by our maths teacher, which made us disappointed every time. And I can never forget my pre summer half day school time. Those days it was very hectic to wake up early in the mornings than the usual time. But one good thing was we could come early to the home instead of staying in the school till evening. In those days, my morning routine used to be like this. My mom wakes me up by shouting, and I would get up so forcefully. And then lazily I would get ready to the school. Meanwhile, my mom used to arrange all the things I need and pack my breakfast. And either my father or my mother used to drop me at the school. And there comes the first period, which is a yawning period for most of us. Even though the period was interesting, we all used to sleep and also we were caught for many of the times to the teachers. It was really a difficult task for me to listen to the classes without having my breakfast. And the periods after the snacks break would be very interesting to me as I had my breakfast in the snacks time and also there were only few periods left to go home. I hope many of you too have the same routine, right? Yes. And do all of you remember your summer vacations? However, I cannot forget it. When I was a kid, my summer vacation was the time where I learned many of my extra co-curricular activities and found my hidden talents and my interests. But as I grew up, things were not the same. There comes the vacation homeworks, which were given in our high schooling. I used to realize that vacations were going to complete just before 2 to 3 days prior to reopening of school. But even then, I used to be careless about it. Generally, vacations are meant for some relief and to be burden free. But our teachers used to give lots and lots of homework to us even in those times. But now I realize that My teachers used to assign us a lot of homework only in vacations, but now I am forced to work more than that every day. And one thing most of us have definitely done is sharing our summer vacation stories to all our friends and also listening to their stories and laughing over them. Yeah, truly I miss those stories now. And coming to the favorite part, gossiping endlessly all around with our best friends, having uncountable naps during boring lectures, scribbling on desks, are all the things that we used to do only to avoid boredom. And the last period, such a boring one. I used to eagerly wait for the last school bell to ring, after which we leave the school right after the next second. And as soon as completing my school and after going home searching for my mom to report all the events that happened in the school just like a news reporter is one of my favorite things. And do you all remember writing school diary every day? Yeah, I still remember the classwork, the homework, and the note columns in it. And of course, how can I miss the parent and teacher signature area, which reveals our original talent, right? Huh. Usually, my mother used to keep the parent signature every day. If she was not available, my father used to. And if I forgot to sign the diary by any chance, then I would become the mother of me. Hey, kidding, wait. I mean to say that I used to keep the signature of my mummy. And even for many times, I was caught to my parents for doing this and got punished by them. Later, I avoided doing that, and even if I had forgotten to make my mother's sign on the diary, I used to leave the space as it is and got punished by the teacher. I hope in this aspect you too would follow me. And yeah, now only diary made me remember the progress card of my academics. This sensitive matter in every school student's life, right? Yes, even for me. I used to eagerly wait for that moment where my parents praise me for excelling in the academics by seeing the progress card. And I would be very nervous to face my parents when I didn't perform well. Usually, my father used to sign my progress card by comparing my past and present performance, and based on that, if I had improved, he put his signature by appreciating me, or else he would tell me to read and learn well, but he wouldn't keep this signature. So I used to ask my mother and made her sign on the card. During my school days, I always had the habit of recording my experiences in a personal diary. During my free time, I would always open my diary and write. It helped me soothe my pain and it fulfilled me with confidence and courage. And I still have a lot of group photos we took in high school which remind me of all the good memories we made. I remember the days we celebrated and the extracurricular activities we took part in. I remember how happy my parents were when I became the top achiever in my entire school. And yeah, how can I forget slam books? These are the ones which made me know about many secrets and unknown things about my friends. And now, when I open and read that book, I really go back to those days for a while. In fact, these books made me maintain much more bonding with my friends. And a person always remembers their first day at school and their last day at school. The first day a child remembers because it came there weeping. And the last day a student remembers because they leave school weeping again. In my case, I remember clearly my first day at school and my last day at the school. The joys of school life are surely countless. Indeed, I would say that the school days are the best of our lives. All the memories of school life period are surely the treasure to cherish for the rest of life. I would say that school life is the best phase of life. Whenever I reminisce, it's never about the grades or tests. Rather, it's all about those times and memorable memories that I have spent with besties. And the different experiences which the students get in school life help them to become better human beings. When they leave school, they are not just taking the memories with them, but they take many friends, a career, and good manners for life. School is the first place where the students come out of their family circles and create a new one with their teachers and friends. One should also remember that everyone is not privileged enough to get education. If one gets this opportunity, then be grateful and work towards being a better human being. My school life has taught me many things and given me some best friends who will be my friends forever. No matter what's going on in your life right now, school memories always make us happy. I love my school and my school life. I am proud to be a student at my school, and I seriously miss those days badly. And I wish all the success to my school. And guys, cherish your school life and stay motivated. Okay, listeners, I hope you all enjoyed listening to my topic, School Memories. Let me introduce my next student RJ, Maricity Sureka, and her participant number is 95. Keep listening to Radio Vishnu 90.4 towards Knowledge Society.